I'd like to call the Board of Works to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nina, would you please call the roll?
Member Collins? Member Lewis? Member Sarnity?
Here.
Member Williams?
Here.
Here. We have the approval of the minutes from November 23rd.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the November 23rd, 2021 meeting.
I wasn't here, Mayor, so I can't second those. I wasn't in
Do I have to
attendance.
step out of the chair to?
No, you can second as chair.
Okay, I will second the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I can't vote. I'm sorry,
You can
hear
vote.
that.
We have the maintenance bond for Dune Wood Trails.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, members.
Good morning.
Yes, before you is the first item of business is the maintenance bond for Dune Wood Trails subdivision. This is subdivision west of Charlotta Woods off of Lakewood. We've had an opportunity as staff to review the maintenance bond, find the amount to be in order and the bond to be in order. We've been in consult with the city attorney, Attorney Witten, and we would like to make a recommendation to approve the maintenance bond for Dune Wood Trails subdivision.
Make a motion to, based upon the review of the Community Development Department and the city attorney, make a motion to approve the maintenance bond.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Steve, to approve the maintenance bond for Dune Wood Trails. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
We have the Porter County Animal Shelter Contract. Attorney Witten.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is the contract that the county sent over. We've been in discussion with them for quite some time on this. Technically, we're in evergreen as it stands right now, but it's a multi-year contract. I would recommend that the board approve this contract. It's the same as last time. It speaks to the responsibilities of the county animal shelter pursuant to Indiana Code, which basically is servicing the animals for the county. So I would ask that the board approve this contract.
So I did have a question. We'll have a motion and a second, and then I'll ask my question.
I'll make a motion to approve the animal shelter service contract for the city of Portage, Indiana.
I'll second that. Just to note that the contract runs through 2026, correct?
2026, July 31st.
So I know that Assistant Chief Uzelak was looking at that, and Scott, you guys were looking at that. Are the things that you questioned, are they all straightened out now?
I believe there's been changes.
Okay. So the contract is for $38,090, and will expire in 2026, right?
That's correct, Mayor. $38,090 yearly, and the contract, like I said, runs from August 1st of this year through July 1st of 2026.
Okay. Are there any further questions?
And we paid an installment in October of this year on this contract?
No, we haven't paid this year yet because we didn't have a contract, but we have the appropriation for it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If there are no further questions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the addendum to the interlocal governmental agreement with Portage Township Schools.
Madam Mayor, this is, I believe the chief can speak to this a little bit, but this has to do with the school resources officer. I think we're adding one, is that correct, Chief? It's on you, my man.
Yeah, Mayor, this is what we had spoke to probably around the end of the summer. They were looking into adding another full-time officer to Portage Township Schools. At the time, we were kind of running into some staffing issues, which we've kind of gotten, we're in a better position now. So
We got back together with them over the last couple of months and have kind of finalized this. So it's the exact same deal that we had with the other full-time officer as far as the reimbursement and things. And they've got kind of a exciting idea of how they want to do with this extra officer. So it'll put 4 full-timers now in the district, 2 with us, 2 with county, and then still having a rotating position that they'll have. Not sure where that one's going to be exactly yet, but so they'll be pretty well staffed for the school system around here.
And the schools that they'll be located are?
So currently there are 2 at the high school, 1 at Willow Creek that's full-time, and then the Fagley position is rotating. I believe their planning right now is to keep that rotating position at Fagley. It seems to fit well with them. So this other officer will be kind of assigned to everywhere. So after speaking with the superintendent, kind of what they're having is with social media and things, there's alerts and different things that they get that are sent to them with the different contracts that they have out there to monitor these things. And now this officer basically can be assigned to those to follow up on whether it's threats or whether it's, bullying. I mean, all different things that come through. So that'll be their primary goal. They're also going to be assigned to making rotations around the elementaries, which they've never really had. And then obviously, if there's a major event or somewhere, then they can fill in at the different places. So it's kind of a catch-all position in all honesty. I think right now, tentatively, it'll be housed at the high school so that they can have an office there. But all that's kind of subject to change. We're kind of providing the person, and they're going to use them whatever needs they have. So like I said, it's just another resource that we've got now into the schools to help them out and back and forth. So
I'm sorry, Scott, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering, are you going to be bringing another officer in to replace that officer?
that was the plan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Scott.
No, that's all right. And we get reimbursed. The city
Yes.
gets reimbursed.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to speak to that, or is it?
No, that's great. No, I think that in speaking with the attorney for the school system and a couple members of their board, I mean, school safety obviously is on the front of everybody's mind. You can't hardly look in the news these days without some tragedy. So they put a strong priority on police presence and intervention in the schools. So they've found the money to allocate for this. I think it's a pretty exciting
It's great.
partner, actually. So I would recommend that the board approve.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the addendum to the interlocal governmental agreement between the city of Portage and Portage Township Schools that adds an additional SRO.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Steve. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Thank you.
carries. Thank you. It's good to see our officers in there. Abbenmarsh engineering contract.
Yes, Madam Mayor, we're seeking the approval of the Board of Works this morning to approve the Abbenmarsh engineering contract for 2022. They've been working with the Department of Planning and Community Development for just under 2 years now, providing municipal engineering services. The experience has gone well. Staff is pleased with the responsiveness and everything associated with their services, and we would ask for your approval of this contract today. Again, we're here early again for 2022, so that if matters come up at the beginning of the year, that we're able to assign a task and have them begin work.
So this is basically a renewal of an existing.
It's a new agreement. We want to approach this yearly. So it is a new contract for services in 2022. However, it is a continuation of using this consultant to provide that work. Yes, sir.
Well, it's good that it's worked out with Abbenmarsh. They're obviously a very professional organization. I'm glad the department has had a good relationship with them. With that said, I'll make a motion to approve the contract between the city of Portage and Abbenmarsh for general engineering services.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Dan, have you looked that over?
I have, Madam Mayor, and I've consulted with AJ on this, and I would recommend approval.
Okay. If there are no further questions, then all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
We have the Pulse Furniture quote approval.
This is the proposal for furnishings at Phase 1 at City Hall. There's 3 separate proposals in here. The first one is the grand total of $69,000. The other 2 are actually from the separate companies that we're getting materials from. So there's Han and National. Those 2 totals together, plus the amount of $4,000 for the installation of the materials, comes to $69,000.
And I know Colin and Deb, you were there, right? Maybe it's just Colin and I, and the mayor obviously was involved.
Norma was there,
Norma,
Joe
we
was
had a
there.
Good representation when we met with Pulse to talk about options for furniture for the new addition. And I think it was well thought out. A lot of time was spent not only picking out the color schemes, but the actual design of the furniture and what was best for the environment. And Pulse was very helpful in making those decisions. And quite frankly, I was a little surprised that it only came in at $69,000. My head was going with a much larger number being involved. I remember selling office equipment and furniture for 5 years, so I know, so I had some idea, but I was pleasantly surprised with that number. So, and were they able to quote everything we discussed, Joe? I mean, is there anything that was missed that they can't provide?
As far as the furnishings that we've talked about, which would be the tables, chairs, couches, all that sort of thing, they got it all in there. It should all be ready to go. And if we sign it before December 31st, we get locked into this pricing. So.
And I think that includes the clerk treasurers.
It does not.
It does not include the
Just
clerk.
the phase 1.
Phase 1.
Okay.
We'll get another contract or another proposal from
Okay.
Pulse at that time.
Okay. So this is just everything but the clerk treasurer's office.
And the lobby. The lobby will be part of the Phase 2 as well.
Okay.
And when I say lobby, I mean the existing lobby, not the
Right.
newly constructed
We picked
lobby.
the stuff out for the other lobby, okay.
And I know that delivery time is not favorable. We're still looking at 16 weeks, or?
I believe so, yeah. I don't know if that's changed at all. That was based on several weeks ago. The sooner we get the contract in, the sooner they can
Obviously.
tell us the exact dates.
Well, I make a motion to accept the proposal from Pulse for Phase 1 of furniture for the new renovation at City Hall.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Scott, seconded by Steve. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Joe. That was a big,
You're gonna go get an order
that was a
right
big
now, Joe?
process.
Please do.
Yeah, we've had several meetings with Pulse, and they've been very receptive to any changes that we made and suggestions that we had, so. Okay, we have bulk item appeals. Randy.
Mayor, there's no.
Yay,
Yay.
thank you. We have the claims. Did everybody get a chance to look at the claims?
Yep, I did.
I went through them the other night, so.
So we have 2 sets of claims, right, Mayor? One
Yes.
is for payroll-related
Yes.
expenses, and the other just operating expenses.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to handle that? You want to handle them separately?
I think we should, right, Dan?
I think so.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the 15 pages of general operating expenses, $844,174.43.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims at $844,174.43. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have the payroll claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims in the amount of $421,000.
No,
No?
$4
$4 million. $214,243.15. Help me out there.
I'll second that motion.
we have a motion by Steve, seconded by Scott to approve the claims for payroll of $4,214,243.15. Are there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have major illness claims.
Just a few, Madam Mayor. There's actually 10 that I've
Oh.
reviewed and signed off on. So at this time, I would recommend the board approve those 10.
I'll make a motion to approve the 10 major claims per scrutiny of our attorney, Dan Whitten.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Steve, seconded by Scott to approve 10 major illness claims. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is there any other business to come before this board?
Madam Mayor, I have a couple of things, if I may.
You may.
Thank you. So the first thing that I would like to speak to is I reached out to all of the Board of Works members after our executive session with respect to the grievances, step 3 grievances that were brought before the board. I'd like to speak to just one in particular because I think I have an understanding from the members which direction they wish to go. This has to do with the grievance that was filed with respect to overtime on the 29th and 30th of December of last year. If the board recalls, the hinge pin on this one was frankly that the grievance was denied because of alleged timeliness of the grievance. In speaking with a couple of board members, or all the board members actually, and with Superintendent Reeder, at this time, I believe that the board wishes to, would like to waive the untimeliness of the grievances, since in fact it would appear that negotiations have been continuing. And just to bring the board up to speed, this is pretty much the same fact circumstances that had occurred prior in that same month with respect to overtime and being called out. And Superintendent Reeder can speak to this if I get it wrong. And the board at that time, for the prior 2 days, the 23rd and 24th of December of last year, had made a determination to approve the requested grievance and pay the overtime. So as I've indicated to the board members, really on this one, if you waive the untimeliness, really the fact circumstances are the same. So you're basically saying we waive the untimeliness, fact circumstances are the same, we'll approve the overtime. So for purposes of the record, I would ask for a vote with respect to that step 3 grievance request. If you have any questions, I can certainly answer those. But at this time, it would be my recommendation, based upon my conversations with the various members of the board, that you, in fact, grant their grievance request.
I'll make a motion that we waive the untimeliness of the overtime grievance for December 29th and 30th. This is 2019, right?
2020.
20 dates, okay. And we pay the overtime as requested.
I'll second that.
And Superintendent Reeder, did you have anything you wanted to add to that, or you think we've hit it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I made a second it, but I have questions.
Yeah.
Whoever sits on the negotiating table must clarify those paragraphs, those 2 paragraphs. I mean, I understand that when you're on vacation, that is not considered time worked, so callback. But I think the precedent was set, and we have to make sure that it's corrected right. okay? Because you're gonna have the same problem this year in December with if we have any big snowfalls and.
And I would agree with that, Steve. And this was an interesting one in the sense that, I mean, contractually it's not in there. Let's just be clear. It's really not. We're extending it, but really, in my conversations with Superintendent Reeder, this is more of a policy decision, right? I mean, we're faced with the notion of when there's a snow blizzard, we need people in the trucks. What allows the superintendent to make sure we get our plows on the road and our snow picked up? And I think that from Superintendent Reeder's position, the granting of this grievance really is the better policy for his department. So I would agree and echo your thoughts. We will be addressing this in negotiations.
Okay.
That's a good point, Steve. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grievance of 29th and 30th of December 2020. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, I have one other thing. So, under the American Rescue Act Plan Act, I always get that wrong. One of the abilities of the city is to allow premium pay for employees deemed essential under the Act. The guidelines have intimated that the executive, which would be the mayor, has the authority to deem who is essential and qualifies under the Act. That doesn't in and of itself indicate that they'll get essential pay. That authority lies with the city council, but this is more of an eligibility for the council to do that kind of thing. So I think for purposes of the inevitable audit that the clerk will be facing in the future with respect to the use of the ARPA funds, I'm asking that the mayor entertain the proclamation that I just handed her, which addresses the deeming of employees essential. So Mayor, if you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer, but I would ask that the mayor adopt that proclamation.
Okay, and I will read the proclamation.
Please.
Whereas the American Rescue Plan Act allows for the use of Rescue Act funds for premium pay for essential workers, whereas it is within my powers as the executive of the city of Portage to determine which city employees are essential workers as contemplated under the ARPA. Whereas it is my opinion that each and every person employed by the city from March 1st, 2020 to the present are essential workers unless they are exclusively teleworked. The interim final rule of the Treasury Department defines essential work is work involving regular in-person interactions or regular physical handling of items that were also handled by others. A worker who would not be engaged in essential work and accordingly may not receive premium pay for telework performed from a residence if that person exclusively worked from their residence for the entire time period described above. Section 602 G2 and 603 G2 of the Social Security Act define eligible essential worker to mean those workers needed to maintain continuity of operations of essential critical infrastructure sectors. It is my opinion and declaration that all employees of the City of Portage are hereby essential workers and are eligible for premium pay per the resolution of the City Council. Therefore, I, Sue Lynch, Mayor of the City of Portage, Indiana, deem all Portage City employees are essential. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Portage, Indiana, to be affixed this 14th day of December, 2021.
Any questions?
So we're basically saying we had no employees that exclusively work from home.
That is what the proclamation says, yes. I believe that's a true statement for that period of time. I
I
believe
believe
that.
that to be true too. I'm just want to make it a public record.
Okay.
So we will need a motion by the Board of Works, or?
It probably wouldn't hurt if you want to adopt your proclamation.
Sure. I'll make a motion to adopt the proclamation that the mayor just read in regard to essential worker premium pay, and the proclamation clarified that all employees are entitled because they meet the criteria of being an essential worker.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Is there any other business to come before this board? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.